put stuff on them. It's a target, yeah, definitely a target. Alright, well we got that sorted out, so what we want to do next is when we do an import, we want to take everything inside of something. Yeah, we need to write down a couple things we need to do. We need to check out all files in animation directory at once. Delete all files in animation directory at once. And save all files after successful import. Oh, you mean just have like some big spots on them? Well, you could do it. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to check out everything all at once for these objects. So when we import a character, I guess if we just saved everything for a character, it might work. We've got this content browser. Let's see if we can do something with the content browser module. Is there like a save? This is not as straightforward as you would think. It's like I just want to save an asset. Like I've got an asset, I want to trigger its save. Like we got this asset registry, which is this F asset registry module. And we've got delete Asset deleted, asset created, asset renamed. Is it inside of object tools? Well, this is just silly. It's always interesting how it's difficult to find a lot of like basic functionality crap. You're like, I just want to know how to save something, and then it's like just pulling teeth trying to figure out where it is. This is like, like I just want to trigger it to save a file. So our friend is, of course, always to just search the entire frickin' thing for where saves actually get called. So it's content browser commands get save selected asset. And good morning, Karakan. It's almost 4:30 here on the West Coast, and we're moving on. We got our guys imported properly, and it's working pretty well. Editor file utils, prompt for checkout and save. Packages to save, check dirty, prompt to save. Alright, so this is what we want to do. It's this editor file utils. So let's take a look. We want prompt for checkout and save. Prompts the user. Alright, let's see. Optionally prompts the user for which of the provided packages should be saved, and then additionally prompts the user to check out any provided packages which are under version control. It's the T-array of view packages. Alright, so this is kind of what we want to emulate inside of our character importer. So this is creator update textures. No, we want like import characters with like a list of characters. And what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to get every asset that's inside of our character folders. So what do we want to do with all this? I think like we want to grab every asset. Get asset I guess if we did it on a per animation basis, that really wouldn't be a bad idea. Alright, character, and then anim. Let's scan the paths. Let's get assets by path, get packages to save, get selected packages. Alright, so this should basically prompt for checkout and save, and we want to do the exact same thing after we finish the import. Like for every one of these, we're just basically, for every animation, we'll do it in animation blocks. So like chunk, chunk, chunk as we do it. Oh man, let's see. We are in hour. I think I did like 6 or 7 hours earlier today, so we're pretty much already done with today. Get selected packages not found. Get selected packages. That was inside of this asset browser. So we're just gonna. What is this find package? Well, maybe we can just copy paste this stupid thing. Character importer tool dot h. Well, it's not available for you to play with yet, which is where I want to be. I want to get it actually available. So that did compile. Awesome. Isn't that so much better? I didn't see it actually. Actually check them out. Well, we're gonna have to test some of this stuff out with the version control. So as soon as I check this crap in, basically, I'm breaking the export pipeline. Adam, is it alright if I break the export pipeline for the next, however long it takes to fix everything? I assume you're not doing any real work until maybe Friday. Alright, cool. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna check a whole bunch of this crap in. A lot of reading. Very good. So what we want to do is we basically want this import process to check out all the files that it needs to check out and then save everything when it's done. So in order to double check that we're actually getting stuff correct, we're going to use these normals as kind of a thing. Oh man, but that means that like the stream isn't going to see you beat all those bosses. How could you do that to all your adoring fans? You're just stream shy. Alright, so if we go to our character import tool and we do this, what's it gonna do? It's gonna say, do you want to check out all these assets for all these? So I'm gonna say yes, check them out. It's then going to import all of them and save them. And let's go over to Perforce and see what it does. They're all there. That's fan-freaking-tastic. You have to beat them every time you want to progress? Alright, cool. You see how much better that workflow is? You don't have to spend 5 fucking minutes just sitting there waiting for the damn progress bar to go by. What a concept. What a freaking concept, am I right? So the next thing what we want to do here is I want to actually like not have as many frames for this animation. So it'd be the easiest way to kind of cut down on the number of frames for this thing. I guess I can just do that. So this will actually have a few extra frames on the end. Okay, cool. Let's re-export the dig on that one. So what we're going to test here is basically, we're going to test what happens when we add some frames here and make sure that this actually, like, you know, does what we want. Okay, so it did add the files to source control here when it did it, and it looked like it kind of did it slow. So that might not be that great. And we're going to go here, and how do we chop these things off? We'll just go here and delete. No, that's not really what I want to do. Let me just get rid of everything on all these frames. Press the delete key. That's so stupid. Fuck you. It works though, so I guess you're right. It's like I'm so used to not using hotkeys on things when I don't know exactly what they do. So we've got these like sprites that are still hanging around unnecessarily. Yeah, they're still there. No, he looks all sorts of fucked up. Oh, that's because it's normals. It's using the hand-drawn normals on like that are totally shit over on himself. So Fat Sack's all sorts of messed up. So it didn't get rid of frames. Let's see if we do another export. Yeah, it's still not very good, is it? Like it's. You might have to import twice to get rid of everything and totally clean it up. But it looks like even if you do them all at once, Unreal freaks the fuck out. Well, small potatoes, to be honest. Let's close the editor and open it again and make sure that at least we've got our saved stuff in there, because that's one of the other things we're having problems with. Well, it's not necessarily, it's always, I don't like to use hotkeys for things when I'm not sure exactly what it does, because there's so many programs where the hotkeys don't always work. Like, especially development tools where you're like, okay, I need to refresh this folder, and like you hit F5 or whatever the hell the hotkey is to refresh, and then it doesn't fucking refresh. Like there's so many times that I've done that I always look for when I want to make sure things actually work. That I always click like the menu option or something. Okay, so that did save everything, so that is excellent. It looks like when we're not adding any files, like we actually just change a few things. Like if we like let's just do ing test submit. You know, like we're just importing a new dude here. We're just like import. It's gonna do it all at once. It's gonna save everything all at once, and we'll be finished. So if you're just re-importing the whole damn thing, it's gonna be damn quick, and you're finished. And if you're not, it might take a little while to revert stuff. That's fine. You know, if it's like 99% of the time, it works every time, then we'll be okay. So let's go to our materials and make sure that our materials... Where the fuck is the graphics folder? I know my ABCs. Gameplay and graphics come right next to each other. Oh yeah, it's geometry comes before that. Apparently I failed kindergarten. Don't tell my kindergarten teacher that. Alright, so we want our lit stuff to... We're going to want to remake these materials real quick to be actually correct. So... roughness. This is the emissive color. This is the world position offset. This is the normal. And this is the base color. Alright, so let's open this guy, and I think we're going to do the exact same basic thing. Oh, except we need to go to this guy and do the opacity. And opacity mask should also be set here. So let's go to our translucent material and just get rid of all this crap and do the same stuff. This is roughness. Alright, so the materials are now, looks like, organized properly. And yeah, you can tell, like, the normals were all inverted on that fat sack there. So why don't we just fix fat sack? And not like fix in the way that you like fix a bike or something. Let's fix him like how you fix his animations. So let's export everything he's got. So this is going to get rid of your hand-painted normals there, Adam. So you'll have to redo them. But, I mean, you're going to have to redo them anyway, so that's just how it works, I guess. So let's go to Unreal. And what we're going to want to do is let's boot open Fatsack's file here and look at what he looks like right now. He looks like this right now. So what we're going to do is, yeah, you need to practice. Yeah, Adam, you need to go back to school and learn how to draw. I'm disappointed. So if we do this import, it should be much nicer on us for all this crap. And be much easier to deal with overall. And this is still pretty damned annoying. I thought it would be okay on a per animation basis, but looks like it's really not. We need to do that shit all at once. So let's go take a look at why he's so white. So let's go to his S idle. Like, this is his normals. And the S idle flipbook, like, there's nothing there. Is this a problem with the emissives? I mean, it's got to be a problem with the emissive layer. So I guess if it's not, I wonder what this is doing. If we go to the sprite here, we have slot 1, which is empty. Well, what if slot 1 just doesn't exist? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, well, that was on a per, all right, that was on a per animation basis. All right, so what we need to do right here is have a list of all assets. So we have like, it's going to call this all assets. For a character, and so we're going to go through every animation that we're touching. Get that asset root. So we need these scan paths. So this will get all assets in here. But why don't we just not assume anything about what this thing actually does? So this will save everything on a per character basis. And then we'll do it again after we're finished. Now we could go through every character and everything and check it all out at once, but I'd rather not. Yeah, so probably just be fine. Let's add our stuff here. To grab all the packages for a list of assets. We'll see if this actually gets the additional textures set up properly. Maybe the normals or something that's messed up. Normals are good for these guys. Alright, let's try that importer. So we're going to save everything. So this is probably removing what from version control? You can see how slow the serial perforce stuff is. It has to call revert, then it has to call delete. That's this is just Unreal being a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's because these things got captured on the second export. These frames don't exist anymore. Why? So I guess regardless, like if this frame thing gets set earlier, it's gonna cut off animations. That sucks. How come Air Rising looks awful? Because it doesn't have any normals? Yeah, so that's just well. The thing is, if it doesn't have normals, I would expect it to not use anything. You know, as in, it should take whatever the material has by default set for the normals. Like, if this additional textures is null, then it should just take what was in, the base material expression. As opposed to just having, like, garbage. Because it's using a goddamned array for materials in there, right? So, like, if you had an emissive map set, you have to have something in index 0. So I can't just not have a normal map. Like, I have to have a normal map in the array. So man, just always with this crap from Paper 2D about stuff that's not set up properly. Just an absolute travesty. So what I have written down. Well, what we can do is we can just edit Paper 2D and make it do what we want it to do, because we're an engineer. Things should just do what we want. So I think that's where it is inside of paper render scene proxy. Which I'm pretty sure. Let's see if it actually does what we want. Am I having fun? I never have fun. I'm always constantly enraged. That's my secret. I'm always angry. While we load everything up, you can look at this sweet GIF. Alright, so what were we testing out? We wanted to make sure that the character fat sack looks right. There he is. Yeah, this is what we wanted. That's right, Paper 2D. Go screw yourself. We don't need your bullshit. We can fix our problems. We got those glowing eyes there. So it looks like there's still going to be some nastiness with checking stuff out with deleting assets, because it has to do reversions and awful stuff. I could probably bubble up the deletion of assets, though, to like one operation at the end. So why don't we just do that? And that should at least do a few things. So let's go back to our character import, and I think it's actually not the character import, but the texture tool. Yeah, we want to add a null emissive texture, because now we actually can support negatives, null pointers inside of that. That line in the Avengers, that's my secret, I'm always angry. Yeah, I know. We used to use that a lot, like when we were when we played beer pong or something like that. You'd like sink it in the cup perfectly. They'd be like, "Oh man, how'd you do that?" You're like, "I'm always drunk. That's my secret." And that joke never got old. Maybe it's because we were drinking, but it never got old. All right, so we want to change our deletions inside of our character importer tool to delete stuff all at once. And in order to do that, we actually have to want to bubble up our deletions. So we want to pass in a t-array of f asset datas. This will be assets to delete. And we're going to have to pass it into every damn thing. So let's just get started with that. So we're going to pass in a t-array reference to every single one of these things. How many games have I played? I've played a lot of games. My parents were not a fan of consoles, though, so I pretty much always played computer games. Kind of like we had a Super Nintendo. And we had like an NES. We had a couple NESs because, as usual, like NESs were such horrible pieces of shit that they didn't work half the time. So we had like a couple NESs because some of them would play some games and some of them would play other games. But other than that, it was like computer games is what we played. Alright, so we have one flipbook per each thing. Okay, so we're never going to actually be deleting a flipbook asset because we only have one flipbook per animation, which makes complete sense. So the games I usually played, well, I got a bunch of emulators, so I played a bunch of, Super Nintendo games on PC when I actually got them. Yeah, I played a bunch of Secret of Mana and stuff like that. Super Nintendo was great. I'm trying to think. One of my favorite games was like Earth Siege 2, which is pretty sweet. Which was like this game here where you played a whole bunch of mechs and you just blew the shit out of stuff. Like we actually had like a really good joystick, and it was really fun because you'd run around and mechs are just absolutely ridiculous in terms of actual viability in real life. Because what you do in this game is because if you actually had a joystick, you could just kill everything super easy. You just shoot them in the fucking kneecaps with like the most high-powered, accurate laser that does like at point blank range does like insane damage to a single part. You just blow their kneecaps off and then they fall over. So we'd run around in that game just kneecapping robots. It was amazing because the game was all about getting salvage based on blowing crap up. So kneecapping the robots like was the best way to do everything because what is this map? So we'd have like tons of salvage because we always just kicked everything's ass. So this is the asset map. Elem.value. Okay, so we want deleted assets dot add elem.value. Assets to delete. Is this F asset data? Assets to delete. Yeah, okay, so we're like so let's see if we can actually find this function real quick with IntelliSense. It doesn't look like we can. Okay, well we should be able to just call asset registry.get. Do we have it up here? Do we already have an asset registry? Yeah, we do. Alright, good.